Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Shane's World. I'm here at the all-famous Donington Grand Prix race circuit. I've spent about the last week as a learner doing my bike test. Glad to say, passed with no problems. So as you can imagine and guess, today's show is all about bikes. When most people take a deep breath, they're either out in the countryside, smelling the fresh air, the green grass, but definitely not me. When I take a deep breath, I want to smell petrol fumes, burning rubber. And what better place to be at a race circuit? What better race circuit but Donington? Now, a little bit what I'm going to do today. I'm going to be on two wheels mainly, and that's from your BMX to your mountain bike, maybe a quad, but into some big boy tools like an African Tourer and the main attraction of the day, the Fireblade. So let's not hang about, we'll find some open space and have some fun. Some facts for Donington. It's been the site for the British GP and the World Superbike GP. I know personally I have raced here a couple of times myself. It is a beautiful circuit. I think altogether actually 3 times I've raced in the short period of time I've actually been involved with motorsport. It's also one of the most famous things for the European F1 GP. It was held here in '93, and most definitely I haven't played here myself, but it has held some rock festivals and stuff like that. So maybe one day I'll get myself down here, not on the track, but doing a gig with the lads. Well, I would be pretty much sure to say that 99% of people will start out on push bikes. There's always that 1% who are a bit flashier than the rest and may go straight onto the motors. But for me, early age, I did start out on BMXs without blowing my own trumpet, but I don't do very much, but I like to at times. I was at one stage the All-Ireland Junior champion for racing BMXs and also for tricks, freestyle and stuff like that. But like I said, that was junior, that's quite a few years ago. So today, I'm not going to show you very much because, to be quite honest, I can't do very much anymore. And I'm also riding with a busted ankle, and that's a good excuse for me. So, keep focused. I'll talk you a little bit through some tricks that I'm going to attempt to do. I might not pull them off and I might pull them off, I really don't know. I'm sure the names have been changed on the tricks I'm going to do since, like I said, 10, 12 years ago, but old style, that's all what I'm all about. The first one I'll have a go at is just a general 360. Nothing too special, nothing too hard, but hard for me. Nearly put a foot down but got away with it. That's just a little bit of something that takes a lot of practice to do. But over time you do fall on your arse, believe me, and it does hurt. I've had more cuts and bruises than since. And I'd like to believe I'm over that at the moment. The next one I'll try and attempt is called a cowboy. Probably the opposite way of a cowboy because the horses go up on the rear to do their yee-haw, but I'm going to go up on the front and do a bit of a yee-haw. I won't quite say that, but I'll be too nervous, you know, if the words won't come out. You're meant to get back on the pedals and cycle away, but I'll put it down to my foot injury, you know, didn't quite make it. I'll try another simple kind of 360, which is using the front brakes and the back brakes rather than just flicking it in the air and landing on your rear. but it did nearly happen. And as far as tricks are concerned, that's about all I've got for you. I'll finish off on a little wheelie, maybe a long one, I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. Most of the time when I go out on tour, I generally bring some form of escape route, and that's either a BMX or a mountain bike. It just helps take my mind off things, stay reasonably fit, and you know, just get away from it all. When I was about 15, 16, I never knew where I was going to end up in life exactly. I always, in the back of my mind, said I wanted to be famous. Didn't know what I was going to do, but said I'd be there one day. I more had intentions of taking over family business and running my father's workshop, basically. But then you never know what's down the road for you. 2 years later, a band opportunity came up. I took it. Didn't know what to expect of it, and by God, did it come up top trumps, you know? In just a bit, we're going to have a look at these superb but more serious machines. Fun's not over just yet. I'm going to have a bit of a crack on a quad. But some call them safe, some call them unsafe. But I'm definitely not going to ride it in this form. Superman job, going to get changed. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, from 2 wheels onto 4. Now, if you've never driven something with an engine, be it a bike or a car, it's always good to start on something very simple, like a quad. You've got 4 wheels, plenty of stability, and it's easy enough to get used to your power. But I can't emphasize how much danger is in a quad. Not so much on these big agricultural ones, because you know, you've got plenty of room, loads of foot space, it's not a problem. But when you get onto something a little bit smaller, you gotta wear your proper gear. Your feet can't slip off, and they're well known for going in under the back wheel. I'm talking from experience. Well, hopefully that won't happen today, but we'll see how we get on. As you can see, there's lots of fun to be had on one of these. If I had my choice, I'd play around here all day. But unfortunately, I've got to go ride some big boy tools. Don't go away. When it comes to being in the public eye, it is generally a 24-hour job, unless you're in your own security of your own home. Once you step outside that door, people expect you to be either A or B. That's either nice or ignorant. And you shouldn't judge people at all. Although everyone in the world judges, it's the wrong thing to do. And I've come across many people in my time who was expected me to be a nice guy. Fair go, I'm human, I have bad days, and they were disappointed, or vice versa. A lot of people expect me to be ignorant, in the whole thing of I'm meant to be a bad boy in Boyzone, and no, I'm not like that at all. I'm run of the mill. I hang about with normal people, I drink in normal pubs, and you know, like anything, good and bad days. If I had to make a decision of music or motorsports, to be quite honest with you, as a human being, we all need the main money factor, you know, to live life. And at the moment, Boyzone pays the bills. And if motorsport wants to introduce a pay wage, yeah, sweet, I'd love to do it. But at the minute, it's pure pleasure time. I'm driving as a celebrity driver in most things I'm doing. So again, it's not costing me anything, but it's certainly not earning the kind of living that I like to live. So music is priority at the moment. Well, we've had a bit of playtime. Now, let's get a bit serious. We're going to move on to these bigger and better bikes, and they're not a force to be reckoned with. You don't just come along, yeah, I can ride a bike and jump on these big machines. It's a bit more serious than that. Now, you have your two different styles of bikes, your general upright cruisers and your speed freak bikes. Now, I've got Scott with me here to tell us a little bit more about what's the difference of the two. Now, we'll start with the Africa Twin Tourer, I believe they're called. Is that right?
Yeah, XRV 750.
Right. Now, what kind of a person really goes for these type bikes? Are they speed freaks, or are they general cruisers, gentlemen's bike?
No, these bikes tend to appeal to people that aren't necessarily interested in outright top speed.
Right.
So people they're very good in town because they've got a very tall seat height, so you can see over traffic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And people that are, you know, generally want an easy bike to ride.
Okay.
You know, they're very easy.
Comfortable.
To ride. Yeah, very comfortable. Specifically in Europe, they're used a lot for touring.
Okay.
Yeah, with panniers and top boxes
and you do see quite a lot of these style bikes on the likes of Paris Dakar and.
Exactly. This is based on a Paris Dakar entry bike.
Okay.
But for road use, it's obviously more of a styling exercise rather than an off-road racer as such.
So someone called Calm, Cool and Collective, that's the machine for them?
Of course, yeah.
Fair go. Let's move on to the all-famous Fireblade, which is it's very well known all over the world for its, you know, general performance and speed. Now, is there much you can tell me about how to ride it or how not to ride it?
Well, the thing is, the Blade is such an easy bike to ride.
Okay.
You know, you don't need to necessarily be the best bike rider in the world to get a thrill out of riding a Fireblade.
Right. Plenty of power, obviously.
Yeah, it's about 136 brake horsepower.
And do you know anything on top speed?
Top speed is 160 plus.
Right, so
it's
take your
fast
brain
enough.
out, leave it on the kitchen table. And
well, obviously you wouldn't do that on the road, but here at somewhere like Donington, it's fine.
Fair go, fair go. No, that's excellent. Well, thanks very much for your time.
No problem.
And I'll see how I get on these machines myself.
You have fun.
Cheers. I know about the bikes, I've been briefed on the track, but I'm going to get a little bit more detail on how to take bends and general bends around the circuit. I'm going to ask the instructor, which I've had for the last week, Sean, to help me out. Right, Sean, you got me through my bike test.
Yep.
No problems there, flying colours. So I think the next step for me is the circuit.
Absolutely. Same as your the course we did for you before, we're going to start off on an easier bike, get on the circuit, learn the circuit, and then we'll progress on to the Fireblade later on, okay?
Lovely.
Okay, here we go into red gates. It's vitally important you get your line right here. It's a bend that is very deceptive and it comes back on you from the right here, so nice and smooth on the brakes. Bit of a late turning point here because you want to use that tarmac on the exit, so nice and smooth on the gas, very gently.
Okay.
And then letting the bike drift out. up through the gears, but it's important to remain smooth and composed. Don't turn in too early through Hollywood.
Okay.
Nice and gentle. And under no circumstances do you want to shut off violently as you go into the left-hander here.
Yeah, easy on the power.
You don't want to load the front end up and find yourself crashing.
Fine.
Now we can start to shut off as we're upright, starting to brake. For the old hairpin, down a gear, maybe two, off the brakes, and peel it in, feed it through, and let the bike drift out wide towards the left-hand side of the circuit. Now we can start to look through Starkeys, and again use the whole width of the circuit.
No problem.
Again into Swans here, nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Looking into McLean's. Again on the brakes, just very gently, very briefly, down the gear, and then in, being careful to avoid the harsh bit of tarmac there. Up the gears again, driving through towards Coppice. On the brakes before you can see the bend, and actually turning in before you can see the bend itself. So in we go, and let the bike drift out a little bit wider. It's a double apex, you want to be clipping the second apex and driving straight out, letting the bike come out wide, use the whole width of the track. And now what we'll find is the front end may start to feel like it's going to pick up, so put yourself in the middle of the circuit and then gradually let the bike drift across to the right for Fogarty S's. Approaching the 100-yard marker on the brakes, nice and smooth, down the gears, off the brakes, peel in and drive it through nice and smoothly. It's very, very important that you keep smooth on the power, nothing erratic.
Plenty of wind sitting up here in this big African tourer. Looks a little bit easier on a road bike such as the Blade. You're not quite up and getting blown all over the place.
It's more important still to make absolutely sure that we apply exactly the same principles to your riding style. That's excellent, well done. Again on the gas, nice and smooth, drifting across to the right hand side of the circuit. Judge your peel-in points. So we're getting on the brakes, down a gear, maybe two, and then peel in, feeding it round. And again, very gentle on the brake, on the throttle here, feeding it out smoothly. That's good, well done, very nice. Very nice indeed.
In another 4 or 5 years, yeah, I'm only 24, but I don't really know exactly what I want to do. Yeah, I'd love to be on a professional level when it comes to motorsport. I'm definitely working my way to that. I've got my full rally license, and I'm about 4 race days away from a full track license, which you don't get very many celebrities with that kind of status within motor industry. If anything, they get a couple of drives here and there on the track, playing about, nothing serious. But I am taking it serious within my own tempo almost, my own speed, and I'm happy with playing around with things. So I'm happy again with music, and I can't tell you the future because I don't know what's going to drop in place. I'll take it as it comes. Been away from Boyzone for this, well, it's a bit over a year, it's about a year and a half or so. We ended a tour, I think it was July last summer. So that's actually a year ago really from now. And at the first couple of months, definitely I was delighted to be away. You know, it was home time, it was a break, because we spent generally 7 years as a unit, as 5 people, all over the world, which was it was a wonderful thing. But you become the same person almost, because you're answering the same questions, same interviews, and you're living so close together that you just don't even know who you are anymore. Time of day, place, they never meant anything to us. It was just purely work, work, work. And I think to get away from that, you're almost redeeming yourself, just finding out who you are again, getting your own character. And it's definitely been healthy for all of us as individuals. I know some of the lads went straight into the music, straight into their solo careers. Personally, I couldn't have done it. I needed them couple of months just to relax, home time, family time, that kind of stuff, you know. But I'm looking forward to seeing the lads again when it comes to work environments such as concerts, even televisions, radios, that kind of stuff, because we do have a good laugh, and it'd be nice to get working, really.
Okay then, Shane, you're happy with the first session we just done?
No problem at all.
Excellent. Right, okay, we're going to do the same thing again now, but obviously we're on the Fireblades, a little bit quicker. You've got to be even more careful on the throttle. So ready to give it a go?
Main attraction, let's have it.
Right.
What more can I say? An absolute brilliant day. Sean, thanks very much for your help.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been absolute brilliant. From push bikes to quads to super bikes. What more can you ask for? You know where it's at, Shane's World.